halfway point, I go ahead and put on the apron so that you all know when my daughter Casey posts these videos later, again on youtube.com // at If You Have an Egg. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's an hour long and you can watch the whole thing. So the first 30 minutes is classroom, the second 30 minutes, so it's whatever Weight Watchers went over, whatever the topic was the prior week. And so it's a good catch up. Like if you missed one, or if you're online only, like if you don't have an opportunity to go to an in-person workshop, you can totally catch up that way. But if you just want to watch the second half, so if you just want to watch the fun in the second half, you know that it's time for the second half because I'll have on the apron. So last week has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about, but last week that beep egg, that was so stinking fun. I've already tried it again. I will say, not a fan of the soft boiled eggs. Sorry, Carol. I know a couple of y'all were trying to tell me about eating them with toast and whatever. Nope. No, can't do it. Nope. The medium was okay. I'm a hard-boiled egg girl, so yeah. So when I use the beep egg, I'm going to be letting it go through all 3 songs. And if you were not here last week and you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, sorry. Okay. This week, though, we were talking about how to make your points budget work for you. And again, just a quick disclaimer, everything that I'll be talking about tonight is a 0-point food for me. Might be a 0-point food for you. I don't know. Because I didn't do your assessment. Let's see. Carol says, I don't like them either. Hubby does, and I cannot cook them right for him. Yeah, she doesn't like any kind of a runny egg. No. No. John likes over easy eggs. I can't make them. Not very good at them. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay. So, again, disclaimer. Everything that we're going to be talking about tonight is a 0-point food for me. I didn't take your assessment for you, so I don't know what your 0 points food list is. If you need some help, just comment. Like you can comment later here in this chat. I can't do it live, but we can go over that later. If you'll just put that in the comments. Wow, the walking here is getting kind of wild. But anyway, or over on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So after Jessica posts this in a few days, so Jessica will post this chat in a printed form so that you can print it out if you need to, so you can go back and read it if you need to. I know some of you all learn quicker when you read things, some when you're listening, some when you're doing, and some of you like to do all of the above. That's totally fine, but this will all be printed there. So if you have questions though about how, if you need to tell me what your 0 points food list is, or what what kinds of things you've chosen and you need some help building a breakfast, don't hesitate to ask me. Okay. But again, disclaimer, these are all 0-point foods, for me. So I don't want any comments of, well, that's not 0 points for me. I get it. It might not be, but it is for me. Okay. So of the 0-point foods that I have available to me for breakfast, we're going to make something here. I'm going to build a 0-point breakfast here because in the first half of tonight's chat, we were talking about how to make your budget, your food point budget work for you. So this last week we had just yesterday. It already feels like it was days ago, but yesterday we had our first annual fall festival here at Casey Kitchen Center, and had a wild week leading up to it. And I knew that there was going to be, some food that I wanted to be able to include that I wouldn't normally have, with that. So when we were talking about ways to make your points budget work for you, one of them is to build around some 0-point foods or meals. And especially if you can build around a 0-point food or meal that is a non-starchy vegetable. Again, if you're new to personal points, or if you just need a recap on that, 0-point non-starchy vegetables should be 0 points anyway. But for every 1 cup of non-starchy 0-point vegetable that you eat, not only is it 0 points, so you're not counting the points, but you add back 1 point for each cup. So we're going to build a breakfast based around 0-point foods, but I'm going to show you how to add back a point so that you can earn some points, for another meal. So knew that we were going to have some food, you know, last week that, you know, was going to be a challenge, some things that I wanted to enjoy that were going to be, you know, higher points. And it's coming. Thanksgiving's coming. We already talked about that. We already talked about the fact that Christmas, if that's what you celebrate, is coming right behind that. And then New Year's, boom, is right behind that. So these are coming super fast. Even if it's not a major holiday, you've got things coming up. So who has something coming up this week that you think, you know, man, whew, yeah, that would help out a lot, you know, before I go to, you know, Aunt Bethany's 80th birthday party. Wow, that would be so helpful if I could figure out how to plan a 0-point meal and maybe even add back a point or two before we went for that, because I know they're going to have that famous lava cake. Let's say they're going to have the famous lava cake, or you're going to the hotel where you can only get the lava cake if you order at the beginning of the meal, or you want Paul's biscuits and gravy, you know, so whatever it is that's coming up, you know, I know some of you all, okay, Mary, happy hour with the girls. That's a perfect example. We had somebody in our in-person workshop this last Tuesday that she planned, this is only like her second week on Weight Watchers, like ever, like she's not done it 500 times like some of us have. But she wants to be able to enjoy a glass or two of wine on Friday nights. Fantastic. That's a pretty low point. I mean, wine's not a huge number of points. I think she's going to nail it, because really, if she just planned around one meal on Fridays, I think she'll have it. Haley's got company coming for a week. Yeah, her company's not going to want to eat, you know, Weight Watchers food every day. Elaine's birthday's Tuesday. Happy birthday. So she's got to plan around that. So lots of things coming up. There's always something coming up. It doesn't have to be a big event like Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's. There's stuff coming up probably once a week, at least every week in your life, where you need to be able to plan something, you know, plan something around that, you know, that's going to help you with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to build a 0-point breakfast that's fun. It's going to be delicious. And Barbara is doing dinner out with friends on Saturday night. Ooh, to an Italian family style restaurant. Sounds delicious. Okay, extra swig of water. One thing, this has nothing to do with the 0-point meal. We'll see. Oh, Katie's planning for pizza on Friday night. Awesome. Nothing to do with the 0-point meal, but don't forget, if you drink 60 ounces of plain water, you can also add back a point. And like this is 33.8 ounces. So by the time I finish this puppy, actually I've already got 60 ounces for the day. But anyway, just saying, just 2 of these would be 60 ounces. Okay, so let's get started on our 0-point meal. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh, and bonus time, the 2 things that I'm going to show you how to cook don't require anything special. So if you, actually there's 3 things that we're cooking, but if you have a all you need is a microwave. So you don't even have to have an air fryer, you don't have to have an Instant Pot, you don't have to have do a flush, you know, whatever. You don't have to have anything fancy. Literally all of this is going to be in a microwave. So I'm trying to make it 0-point friendly and as easy as it can be for this breakfast, so that you have 0 excuses to not do this. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is make something yummy. It's all going to be delicious, but we're going to make something yummy. This recipe is adapted from the Slender Kitchen. So if you go over to slenderkitchen.com, you will find the original version of this recipe. I changed it just a little bit because I didn't have and did not want to purchase one of the ingredients that she was using, and I wanted to be able to double this up. So again, everything's going to be in the microwave. Everything's going to be accessible, should be accessible to you. This is going to be a pumpkin not overnight oats. This is going to be a pumpkin oatmeal, like a baked pumpkin oatmeal recipe. So again, I'm doubling up. If you go to Slender Kitchen and find this, you're going to see that her recipe is for 1. So this is going to be for 2 of these. First, so for 1, the recipe calls for a half of a banana. I'm going to use a whole banana because I need it to be for 2. I need it to be 2 servings of it. The second thing I'm going to do using the microwave, this is a half of a cup. The recipe calls for a 1/4 of a cup. I'm doubling it. This is a half of a cup of pumpkin, of just regular canned pumpkin. I'll come back and explain why it's frozen in a second. Let me pop that in the microwave. Okay, so pumpkin's been a little hard to find. Who has had trouble finding plain canned pumpkin? Show me your hand if you've had trouble. They did have it at Trader Joe's today, so they did not have the regular kind. They only had organic, which is a little bit more expensive. But so I know some of y'all have been having trouble. Like I know a few people in certain parts of the country, your shelves have already been cleared of just regular pureed pumpkin. So what I'm heating up in the microwave right now, just so that it's unfrozen, so that it's thawed, is because let's see, Cynthia found some. Okay, great. So I took a giant can of pumpkin months ago. Okay, Carol, we're not going to Wally World to get pumpkin. Just kidding. Y'all can go there. But months ago, I took 2 giant cans, like big ones, like this big cans of just plain pureed pumpkin, and I put them into the super cubes. And if you don't know what super cubes are, there is a chat for that. You can go back and watch that later. But I put it into the half-cup super cubes, froze it, and then after those were frozen into these little blocks, then I put them in a freezer bag. Okay, so this was a frozen, a half a cup from the super cube. So we're going to put that in there. And again, in her recipe, it was 1/4 of a cup. This is 1/2 of a cup because I'm doubling the recipe. Okay, so there is that. And then 1/2 of a cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt is what I'm using instead of, she used almond milk. I didn't have any almond milk and non-fat plain. Okay, so banana is 0 for me. Plain pumpkin is 0 for me. Non-fat plain Greek yogurt is 0 for me. So remember, if these are not 0 for you, I don't want to hear any squawking. You just need to find something that's 0 for you. Okay, and I did not want to purchase almond milk, and as much as we needed, it wasn't going to be 0 for me, so we're going to use, for me, so we're going to use non-fat plain Greek yogurt in there, and we're going to use a cup of oats. You can use rolled oats, or you can use quick cook oats. The rolled oats just are a little bit thicker when you get done. Then we're going to put in whatever your favorite pumpkin pie spice is. Mine is the Dax pumpkin spice. Salt-free, MSG-free. So we're going to use the, God, that already smells so good. And then I'm going to use, so, wow, I couldn't have done that again if I tried. The pumpkin pie spice is 0 points. And then I'm going to use some sugar, some Carrie's sugar-free low-calorie syrup, which is also 0 points for me, unless you go crazy on it. And you're just going to mash all that together. And I've seen a couple of favorite 0 point breakfast foods pop up there. So Debbie just posted something. Let's see. Okay, Phyllis just adjusted her 0 points food list today to include, wait, what did you say? Phyllis said, to include oats. Okay, so oats. So oats are 0 points for me right now. So remember, if this is closer to Thanksgiving time, when I said that I'm going to change out a couple of things for potatoes, so maybe at, near Thanksgiving, if I need a 0 point, I don't know why I did not get a fork to do this, but anyway, so at Thanksgiving, if I needed, a 0 point, breakfast, maybe I might do some kind of potatoes instead of doing oats. So you just got to figure out what you can do that's going to be on your 0 point food list. The most important thing is including some 0 point meals or some 0 point days. I'm not going to suggest that you do, like if you have an entire day that's 0 points, okay, you can probably live through that. And I know a lot of you all eat a lot of 0 point foods. I'm going to say I do not recommend a 0 point several days, A, I just don't think it's a good idea. B, you're going to get burned out. C, I just don't think it's a good idea. Okay, then I'm going to take 2 cute little containers here that are microwave safe. Remember, everything that we're doing today is all going to be in the microwave. I'm going to do a little bit of nonstick spray, and we're going to split this up into the 2 of them. And again, that original recipe is on Slender Kitchen. And on Slender Kitchen, she's not talking, you know, so much necessarily about, you know, Weight Watchers or anything like that. But she also suggests, if you're not trying to do a 0-point meal, she also suggests that, you know, you can put some walnuts, you know, or something, you know, something delicious like that with it. Okay. And then we're going to microwave these on high for 2 to 3 minutes. So the banana and the sugar-free maple syrup, those were for some sweetness. The pumpkin and the pumpkin pie spice, let's see how this tastes. Already delicious. Actually, very delicious. Okay, let's pop these in for 2 to 3 minutes on high. So remember, we're building that 0-point meal, so that we can enjoy some other things, you know, enjoy maybe the next meal is going to be a little bit higher. Maybe you're going somewhere for that lava cake. Maybe it's almost your birthday. Let's see. Debbie says she doesn't think it's a good idea to have a 0-point meal. I think a 0-point meal is okay. It's okay. I think a 0-point day is probably pushing it. You know, a 0-point week, nope. I'm gonna say nope. No. Okay, so everything we're making today, everything I'm making tonight, this is 0 points for me. You're gonna have to check and see if it's 0 points for you, but it's 0 points for me. The next thing we're gonna make is, oh, there it is. Okay, the next thing we're gonna make, eggs, okay? I'm not even gonna use an actual egg. This is 0 points for me. So eggs are 0 points for me. But if you use egg whites, even if eggs are not 0 for you, it's going to be pretty stinking low. So egg whites are very low in points. So I'm just going to take a mug, because remember, we're doing everything in the microwave. So I'm just going to take a mug, just a coffee mug, spray the bottom with some nonstick spray. Added, it's probably a half a cup of egg whites. I'm going to sprinkle in just a little bit of nutritional yeast. If you want to measure that, nutritional yeast is usually starts to have points over a tablespoon. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of seasoning to that. If you want to do an egg, if you want to add an actual egg to this, you certainly can. So if eggs are a 0-point food for you, you can totally add, that to it. We have got 55 seconds left on the pumpkin spice oats in the microwave. I also want to point out, let me just go ahead and point this out. This, love like cookie batter, brownie batter, cake batter, whatever. This doesn't have any eggs in it. So, you can totally enjoy all of the batter because this has no eggs in it. So, it does not have to be cooked for you to enjoy it. So, while that finishes up, that was for a double batch. That was a banana, 1 banana, a cup of oats, 0 points for me. Now remember, if you said on your assessment, if you said that you were diabetic or pre-diabetic, a banana might not be 0 points for you, okay? Just keep that in mind. Don't want to get any phone calls about this. So to double it for me, a banana is 0 for me, a cup of oats is 0 for me, a half of a cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, 0 for me, canned pumpkin, just plain pumpkin, not pumpkin pie, just plain pumpkin, plain old pumpkin, 0 for me. I did about 2 teaspoons of sugar-free maple syrup, 0 for me. Some pumpkin pie spice, and then we put them in the microwave. I divided it into 2. Spritz the bottom of a little casserole, a microwave safe dish. I microwaved it on high. I did 3 minutes. And those are hot, so I'm going to grab a towel to get them. And again, if you weren't worried, if you're not worried about these being 0 points, like if that's not a problem, you could add some nuts to this or something. So that's what it looks like baked in the microwave. So I'm going to add that to my little breakfast plate over here. And see what I did there? I meal prepped for one other meal. The next thing we're going to do is the egg whites, and again, you can do an egg. I'm going to cook those for a minute on high, and then I'm going to check them depending on, and yes, you could make the oats in a mug. So hold on. Who said that? Phyllis said, could we make the oats in a mug, a single batch? Totally. You can totally do that in a mug. And Haley says, I'm not diabetic, but my man is. Do you recommend saying you are diabetic so that you can make meals he can eat? I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that. Okay, so Deanna, I know you. I hope you don't mind if I just pick on you randomly. If I just call you out here on the spot. So Deanna has a similar situation. So what do you think? Do you think she should? Do you think Haley should pick diabetic or pre-diabetic in her assessment so that she can kind of, you know, make sure she's making meals that he can enjoy? Or I don't know, what do you think? So I don't know, I have mixed feelings about that. My mother was diabetic. I ate everything that she was eating, so I mean, I was happy to eat it. And I mean, if it's not gonna mess you up, I don't see why not. And that's very sweet of you to offer that. Okay, let's see how those egg whites did at 1 minute. I'm going to let them go about 30 more seconds. Okay, so I'm going to let the egg whites go about 30 seconds. And while they are going, I'm going to show you my last thing that I'm going to put in here. So I've got a little bit of vegetables with the pumpkin. I've got some fruit with the banana. I've got some good for you carbs with the oats. Cooking some more protein. I'm cooking some protein with the egg whites. But if you have not steamed snow peas, so that's a snow pea. That's not a sugar snack pea. That's a snow pea. If you have not steamed snow peas for breakfast, I'm serious, you are missing out. So this is a cup of snow peas, and I put them in a coffee mug, obviously, and I'm going to steam those for 1 minute. I wash them first, and then I put them in there, for 1 minute. Okay, and here's my little steamed egg. And it's such a cute shape. So when you cook your egg whites in the microwave, and cook them in a mug, you'll see it here in a second when I show it to you. You'll see it. But it makes I don't know, it's just a cute little shape. And Cynthia says, I love veggies for breakfast. It starts my day off well. So we have, for me, a 0 point. So far we've got a 0 point pumpkin spice oats that I made in the microwave. I have a 0 point for me, egg whites, and then there we go, steaming up some 0 point. We're steaming up some 0 point peas. I'm just going to get those put on here. And they are, I'm telling you, barely steamed. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but they are still very crisp. But just barely steaming them. Oh my goodness, it makes them so delicious for breakfast. I love them so much. And that is about a cup. What I just put into my little bowl is about a cup. So I've got 0 points, carbs, a little bit of protein, some yummy flavor, 0 point protein in the eggs, 0 points in the steamed snow peas. All of it done in the microwave, no special equipment, didn't use anything fancy. I'm pretty sure everybody probably has a microwave. But this, all of this, not only is that 0 points for me, it's +1. So I have added back a point by using the sugar snap peas. So now I didn't blow any of my points for the day. So if I've got something special coming up tonight, tomorrow, if I'm trying to, build up some points for that, not only did I not use any of my points, I added back 1 point. So I have an extra point to use. Okay, so that is how you make your daily allotment of points work for you. So this was so easy. We literally made two meals worth. Well, I have to cook another egg, but we made 2 meals worth of breakfast. Super easy, super delicious. Here, I'll try the baked overnight oats just so that you all can see how those tasted. Look how pretty that is. Yummy. Of course, I already knew it was going to be yummy because I hate the batter out of the bottom of the bowl. But an absolutely delicious 0 point +1. So I got to add back 1 point, made 2 of them, and we did that in what? I mean, we didn't even take up the whole 30 minutes. So I talked a lot for the first 15 minutes. So made all of that in 15 minutes. How stinking easy is that? So it just takes a little bit of thinking ahead, just a tiny bit of planning. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours slaving in the kitchen, just a tiny bit of planning, just to get ready for this. And you too can master how to make your points budget work for you. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's chat. I hope you got something out of this. I hope in those comments, because I did see several of you list what your favorite 0 point breakfast foods are. Next week we will do a 0 point lunch, and then the week following that we will do a 0 point dinner, just so that you've got the whole repertoire. So you have, or you could eat this for dinner, you could eat breakfast for dinner. But I hope you all found something in that, and I hope you got something out of the comments. And I hope that those of you who are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or feeding someone who's diabetic, looks like you all had a great little discussion about that. I hope that helped out Haley and everyone else who needed some help with that. But you all have a great week. If you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise, thank you, Phyllis. I promise you will enjoy it. Go ahead and let that next video roll over. Again, that's just youtube.com/@IfYouHaveAnEgg. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that little subscribe button right there and click the bell so that you'll be notified when the next video comes out. And if you did not, good night, Carla. And if you did not already, go check out Croctober. Lots of good ideas and lots of good advice. And good night, Bernice, and good night, Joni. So y'all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Good night.